Welcome back, everybody. There's Latin's Fight Picks. Today we'll be doing the UFC fight card for UFC 315. Bilal Mohammed versus JDM, Jack Della Maddalena. Don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to be doing the board, but we will be going over the fight card at a reasonable pace. So as usual, we will go over the card from the first fight to the main event. So let's start. Daniel Santos versus Jeong Yong Lee. Daniel Santos, 5'7", 67-inch reach. I'm just challenging myself. Jeong Yong Lee is 5'10", 73-inch reach. Obviously a big reach advantage. He's going to rely on his speed and his striking. I think, here's the thing is I really like Daniel Dos Santos, and he might not be the best fighter technical wise or height wise or reach wise, whatever it may be, but this guy's tough. He's tough as nails, and he walks through a lot of stuff, and he's pretty good on the ground. And yeah, he's the favorite. He's the favorite. Okay, well, even better. Is he the favorite? I thought he was the underdog. Am I not? He is even. So he is the underdog. At one time, he was the favorite. But now he is the underdog. Okay, there he is. Yeah, he's at plus 100. So he is the underdog, but I'm going to go with the underdog on this one. Mid to low level confidence. I just think he's going to be too tough, too in your face, and he's going to track down Lee, and I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on him. And I don't know if Lee's going to react well to that pressure. He needs space to fight, and Daniel Santos is not going to give him that space. He's going to be chasing him around the ring. So Lee Santos is going to be the pick. Moving on. Brad Katana versus Bedzak Almakhan. Katana, 5'6", 64.5-inch reach, 16 wins, 4 losses, 33 years old. Almakhan, 5'7", 68-inch reach, 11 wins, 2 losses, 27 years old. We don't know a lot about Almakhan except for the fact that he did fight the guy who fought for the title and put up a pretty decent scrap. His striking seems really on point, but he was able to be taken down and controlled. But there was a lot of explosive moments where he was getting back up or on the verge of getting back up, and it was against Nurmagomedov, who is just a beast on the ground. So for him to even do that well, I think he puts that kind of explosion and technique to get up. I think he's getting up against anybody because Nurmagomedov is somebody who has a lot of control. And he's going to be fighting Katona. Not a big fan of Katona, but the guy is a grinder. He's tough, he's durable, and he's going to hold you up against the fence and hold you up against the fence and try to get these decision wins. And it's going to be a close fight. I kind of went back and forth because at the end of the day, Katona always makes it a close fight because he just holds you down, tries to get you down, holds you against the fence, and it's just a grinding battle. Almakhan needs space. He's very dangerous. But I think when he is going to have some space, he's going to be able to land very powerful strikes. I think he's going to win this fight because of that. Otherwise, he'll be just fighting out of clinch positions non-stop for 3 rounds. It's going to be very boring to watch Katona try to do this because he's not going to be able to stand in front of him. Hopefully Almakhan will be able to, I don't know if he's going to be able to knock him out. Katona I haven't seen him get knocked out yet. But Almakhan seriously hurt Nurmagomedov, who I've never seen hurt before. So Almakhan's going to be the pick. It's going to be a close fight, but fairly high confident that Almakhan will pull this off. Plus, the judges don't like the grinding, holding fight from Katona. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. Andre Barriault, 6'1", 74-inch reach, 16 wins, 9 losses, 35 years old. Bruno Silva, 6 feet tall, 74-inch reach, 23 wins, 12 losses, 35 years old. Hey, same height, same reach, 35 years old. Both of them on the decline. Both of them have been KO'd. One guy like Bruno got explosive power. He's fairly durable. His cardio is decent. You got Marc-Andre Barriault, who's the power bar, who's really relying on pressure, and just wearing his opponent down. You know what? Up to the last fight, he's very durable, and I was really, really surprised how badly he got KO'd by what I consider a very low-level fighter. But the guy he fought had a head like a brick, and they were both swinging. And Mark Andreo Barrios did not have to be in that position, but I think he got mad because he was being held down and on the ground, and the guy was just kind of just on top of him, and I think he got frustrated. What was his name? He was Stoltzfus, right? He's lost TKO, and he was the big favorite in that one, and in this one he is the favorite. And Silva, he's shown glimpses, but he's a little slow. Barrios not that great of a striker, but it's just the volume that he keeps coming after you. You get tired. I like betting on the guy, but after how badly I saw him get KO'd, I think this guy's chin is gone. And I think Silva has got enough power to knock this guy out. So I know it's in Quebec, and he's from Quebec and all that, but I have this feeling Silva's going to KO this guy. That's just, and Silva's the underdog. So I'm picking the underdog here, but low level confidence pick. But I think Silva is going to touch that chin. I think we're going to realize one thing, that Barrios' chin is gone. That's what I think is going to happen. But I mean, if Silva doesn't land a decent shot, Barrios could very well win a decision by the clinching and grinding and takedown, and Silva getting back up and holding him against the fence, and the dirty boxing. He could pull this off, but I think Silva's going to catch the chin, and I think he's going to knock out Barrios. So Silva's going to be the pick. It's going to be quite a bit of underdogs. That's one underdog, two underdogs out of three. Moving on to the prelims. Those are the early prelims. Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Ersland. Navajo Sterling, 6'4", 79 inch reach, 6 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 27 years old. Ivan Ersland, 6'2", 72.5 inch reach, 14 wins, 4 losses, 33 years old. Ivan Ersland's at the peak of his ability. Sterling is getting better all the time. And, I went back and forth on this one. Sterling's a huge favorite. And just, fact is, I'm going to pick Sterling. I think he's 27 years old. I think he's going to improve from the last time we saw him. And as far as I see it, he better. Because if he doesn't improve, he could lose this fight to Ersland. Ersland's tough, he's durable, and he puts a lot of pressure on you. And Sterling does not react well to pressure or moving backwards. He has to be moving forwards to strike well. And when he got taken down, he had a hard time getting back up. Ersland does have takedowns in his arsenal if he wants to use them, but he likes to strike. Which it could work in his favor. He got decent power, and if he keeps pushing Sterling forward, he could land decent shots. This is going to be a closer fight than we think. I'm relying on Sterling getting better at 27. Ersland, I don't think is going to get any better than what we saw him last time when he fought Cutelaba. But he went to a split decision with Cutelaba, who's a decent fighter. And you got Sterling, who won a unanimous decision against Tukos, but he couldn't take Tukos out. Tukos is terrible. So, and Tukos even took him down. I almost rhymed. Tukos took him down. But, so, if there was a fight that Sterling should win this, but if there was a fight the big underdog would be this one, that I could see a greasy, grimy, split decision loss for Sterling. If he hasn't improved. But I'm counting on the fact that he's got a good gym and he's going to make some improvements in his game. So I'm going to pick Sterling. Be careful with this one. And if you had money on Ersland, I think it's a good bet. But I still think Sterling should pull this off. Moving on, Modesta. So Sterling, in the end, Sterling is going to be the pick, just so you guys know. But it's different when you make a bet. I don't blame anyone for picking Ersland as a plus 235 underdog. Where is he? Plus 260. Moving on, Modestas Bukauskas versus Ian Cutelaba. Bukauskas, 6'3", 78 inch reach, 17 wins, 6 losses, 0 draws, 31 years old. Ian Cutelaba, 6'1", 75 inch reach, 19 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw, 31 years old. Don't let the record fool you. Cutelaba fought the killer's row of guys in that division. But I went back and forth. I thought Bukauskas could pull this off, but I rewatched some of the tape and I realized, he's not going to pull this off. I watched Kutalaba and I know we got, he's really actually improved his game. This is the best we've seen this guy. He's very smart. He acts crazy like the Hulk, but he fights well on the feet. He knows not to lose in the exchanges and not to lose in the volume area. He's very aware, taking people down and winning minutes. And that's what it's going to come down to. And Kutalaba is aware of this, and I think Bukauskas is getting a little chinny. He got knocked out last time. He's long. He's got decent technique. He's got a good check left hook. But Kutalaba seems to manage around these guys, and he puts a lot of pressure on them, and he takes people down. And Bukauskas, even though he's got takedowns in his arsenal, I don't think he's as good as advertised. He's going to be a little taller, a little longer. I think Kutalaba has experienced this before. It's going to be a close fight. I went back and forth on this one, and this is going to be a super close fight. But given a close fight, I'm going to go with Kutalaba, but it will be a very low-level confidence pick. Not because I don't think Kutalaba should win. It's because it's going to be so close. What do the judges see? So Kutalaba is going to be the pick. It's he's minus 120, and Bukauskas, I don't know. He's got the general physical attributes, but he's like the Wish version of who we think he is, or the Timu version of who we think he is. So Kutalaba is going to be the pick. Not that Kutalaba is that great. They're both lower level, but I don't think Kutalaba is as low level as Bukauskas. Moving on. So Kutalaba is going to be the pick. Jessica Andrade versus Yasmin Jasudavicius. Jessica Andrade, 5'1", 62 inch reach, 26 wins, 13 losses, 33 years old. Jasmine Jasudavicius, 5'7", 68 inch reach, 13 wins, 3 losses, 36 years old. Way more experience for Andrade. Jasudavicius, I'm surprised that she's 36, but she's at the absolute top of her game. She's going to have the height advantage, reach advantage. She's tough as nails, and she takes girls down, and she's relentless. And I gotta admit, her top game has really leveled up. Where she gets on top of you, she's gonna hold you down, and that's what I think is going to happen here. Even though Andrade is pretty good at getting up, I think Jasudavicius is going to be too big, and she's now too technically sound. And I think she's going to be holding Andrade down, and I think she's going to win a grinding fight. It's going to be an unanimous decision. I thought, could she lose? I was a disbeliever in Jasudavicius, but I gotta admit, I'm kind of a believer now. I don't think she's going to fight for the title, but I think she's definitely up there. And I think this is her. She's at top of her game at 36 years old. And Andrade, she used to be the top girl kind of thing, but I think the people have starting to pass her by, So Jasudavicius is going to be the pick. She's a pretty big favorite too. Mike Malott versus Charles Radtke. Mike Malott, 6'1", 73 inch reach, 11 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 33 years old. Charles Radtke, 5'9", 72 inch reach, 10 wins, 4 losses, 34 years old. Radtke, they're both actually not young. Radtke, they're at the pinnacle of their careers, or they should be at the best of their ability. Let's see if the odds change or not. Radtke was plus 210. Now he's at plus 140. He's still the underdog. Here's the thing. I think Radtke's going to knock him out. I don't know. I had bet on Radtke when it was plus 210. Now he's only plus 140. Mike Malott, he's a good striker. He's great on the ground, but he obviously has to fight at a really, really high level to the point of where he's going to gas to fight at his optimal ability. So, and you found that when he had to optimize his gas, that he wasn't as effective as a fighter. And I think Radtke's weight, he says 5'9", he's taller than that. I'm pretty sure he's at least 5'10", 5'11", probably 5'11". So I think there's a 2-inch gap in height, and there's not going to be this massive gap. But I think Radtke's tough. I think he's got good takedown defense. He's got takedowns of his own. Malott does have decent submissions, but I think Radtke, he's very well rounded. And I was never a big fan of him, but I really think that he's going to win this. And he's decent sized underdog, but Ratke's going to be the pick. It's a shame. I don't want to pick against the Canadian guy, but Malat, I mean, he just, again, I think he's overrated. And I think we've seen this as he fights higher and higher level guys. He's literally fought a much higher level and he lost. Now he's fighting at what appears to be a lower level, and I still think he's going to lose. So Radke has a opportunity to really, turn it up a little bit. And I think he got knocked out last time by a guy who basically fought in the top 5 now. Who did he fight? Pratis. He fought Pratis. Pratis is very dangerous, and Pratis caught him with a perfect shot to the body, and the show was over. But up to that point, it was fairly even. So I think Radke was doing pretty good. So I think that this is a Radke fight. He's going to win. Moving on. Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Popelic. Who is this Kyle Popelic? He's from Canada, obviously Serbian or Croatian last name. 35 years old. Come on. 35 years old. He just got thrown in. I mean, this guy might be okay or decent, but he's not UFC level, or otherwise he would have been in the UFC until now. So I haven't seen any of his fights. Benoit Saint Denis is going to be the pick. So not much to say. What tape are we going to watch? This guy obviously is not at that level. He's 35 years old. Benoit Saint Denis, 29, is getting better all the time. And yeah, moving on. Alex DeGrasse versus Natalia Silva. Alex DeGrasse is 5'5", 66-inch reach, 16 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 31 years old. Natalia Silva, 5'4", 65-inch reach, 18 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 28 years old. Natalia Silva is getting better and better and better. She's at the top of her game, I think, right now. And Alexa Grasso, I think, is in the top of her game too. Here's the thing. Natalia Silva beats everybody. Where she's going to lose is against people who have got a high level of striking and a high level of grappling that are stronger than her. And this is where it is. She's beaten a lot of people who are stronger than her, but she was faster than them. And she stayed away from them and she outstruck them. And then there's certain girls that she was better on the ground than, so she took them down and he held them down and controlled them. I think Alexa Grasso's got good takedown defense. I think she's got a good get-up game. I think she's going to be stronger, and I think that's where the difference is. Alexa Grasso's a decent underdog. She's plus 210 now. She actually went up. But I think Alexa Grasso wins this fight against Natalia Silva. And I like Natalia Silva, but I think she's too small. When she gets into these girls who are going to have just as much ability, it's going to be the strength. And I think she's just a little smaller. I think she's going to lose this fight. I think Alexa Grasso is going to beat her on the cards. And it's a good underdog play. Alexa Grasso. Jose Aldo versus Ayman Zahabi. Jose Aldo, 5'7", 78-inch reach, 32 wins, 9 losses, 38 years old. Ayman Zahabi, 5'8", 68.5-inch reach, 12 wins, 2 losses, 37 years old. Both of them about the same age. Both look decent in their game. Maybe Aldo slowed down a step. Hard to tell. He's still doing really well. Zahabi, same thing. Both are great strikers. But I mean, look at the level that Aldo has reached as opposed to Zahabi. So I think they're both going to be striking. I think they both got great takedown defense. It's going to be a stand-up battle. Zahabi does have KO power. There's always that danger. You got to be careful with him. But Aldo's going to be the pick. He's fought at the absolute highest level. Zahabi's a really good striker, but he's not at the highest level good, but he's definitely decent, mid-level guy. So it's going to be a good fight. He's fighting in his hometown. He's going to fight hard, but Aldo's going to be the pick. High level of confidence. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. Shevchenko, 5'5", 66.5-inch reach, 24 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 36 years old. Manon Fiorot, 5'7", 65-inch reach, 12 wins, 1 draw, 0 draws, 35 years old. Shevchenko has slowed down just the tiniest bit. You can notice it. Menofero, she's 35 years old. She's at the peak of the game. I don't think she's slowing down. I think this is where she's at. She's going to be larger. Usually she's a lot larger than most people. She's not going to be a lot larger here, but she's going to be larger. And I think Shevchenko's just got more skills. Even though she's slowed down a bit, I think she's got a good takedown game. I think she's very smart. I think she knows how to get in on Menofero. Menofero doesn't have a lot of weapons, but the weapons she does with her physical attributes really have worked and have carried her this far. This is where it stops. So Shevchenko is the underdog at plus 125. I'm picking Shevchenko. Yes, she's slowed down a little bit. She's technically better striker, better grappler, period. So even with her slowing down, I think she's got enough experience, enough ability to win this fight. Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. Bilal Muhammad, 5'11", 72-inch reach, 24 wins, 3 losses, 0 draws, 36 years old. Jack Della Maddalena, 5'11", 73-inch reach, 17 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, 28 years old. Maddalena's getting better and better and better. So I got to admit, he's really improving on his game. But here's the thing, 36 years old, Bilal Muhammad is going to start to slow down. Haven't seen it yet. He's tough, he's durable, he can fight on the feet, fight on the ground. He's the clear favorite for a reason, and he's going to win this fight. I mean, apart from, some miracle from Maddalena, and even then, can he really knock out Bilal Muhammad? Like, maybe he can hurt him, but can he KO him? I don't know. I think Muhammad's a pretty smart guy. I think his striking has improved. And Maddalena's not this crazy knockout guy. He's just the kind of guy that keeps wearing you down, and he's got powerful shots, but they're cumulative. And he's not going to hit you with one shot and knock you out, not at this level. And he's just not that guy. But he is going to wear you out and break you down and break you, and then just beat the crap out of you. And I don't think that's going to happen with Muhammad. So for all you guys who's hoping that to happen, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Bilal Muhammad is the favorite, high level of confidence for him to win. So yeah, St. Denis, Just Vicious, Aldo, Muhammad, Alma Khan, decent, pretty high level of confidence to win. Sterling, it's a big risk there where Islam, hopefully he's improved enough, but he should win. Shevchenko, Grasso, Santos, Kutalaba, lower level confidence, mid to low, but I think those are gonna win. Silva and Radke, low level confidence, but I think they're gonna pull this off. Once again, not financial advice. Bet only what you can afford to lose. These are the fights. Anything can happen. Sometimes we do well, sometimes we don't. So just be careful. Do your own research. Combine it. Take what you agree with and use that. Maybe not use what you disagree with. Otherwise, hit the like button if you like the content. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think, where you disagree or agree with. I'd love to hear your opinion. And otherwise, good luck everybody, and hopefully we knock it out of the park this week.